Brodes Media.
I can't wait to see James Harden, though, in this jersey. Apparently, they showed a highlight video or some sort of video of James Harden in the building tonight. I saw a couple people that I know take a video of the Jumbotron when that happened, and the place erupted like no other. And the place lost its marbles, as it should. I mean, are you kidding me? You see James Harden on the Jumbotron, you go, yeah, that's our guy. Wait a second, that's our guy? And I find it so comical that we sit here and we listen to the national media rip apart the Sixers and go, how come you're not getting rid of Ben Simmons? It's been long enough. Trade Ben Simmons already. Go bring somebody else in. He's a headache. He's a problem. He's costing your franchise. Make a damn move. Then they make the move, and then we hear those same people say, you got James Harden. You gave up too much. You gave these people, the Brooklyn Nets, that is, Ben Simmons and Seth Curry and Andre Drummond, everything they're looking for. You messed up, and it's like, hold on a second. Which way do you want it? You can't have it both ways. Scream for 4 months that they have to get rid of him. Then they do and acquire James Harden. And then it doesn't satisfy you. And that's not good enough. What would you rather have? Please let me know. It doesn't make any sense. I would love to know the logic behind all of that. Please inform me. Let's get to what I heard today on the Mike Missinelli show with Stephen A. Smith and Charles Barkley. Both of these two individuals are not so fond of the deal of what happened this last trade deadline, as if this was months ago and we forgot. No, it was a couple days ago and we lost our damn mind over it, as we should have. Okay, so Stephen A. Smith was his first guest, and Stephen A. Smith said the deal is fine. The 76ers are better now than they were before the deal was made. Okay, well then hold on a second. Why would you then be angry, Stephen A? His rationale was because you gave the Brooklyn Nets those players. Anyone else, and not someone in your conference, not someone you're going to be competing with, that's a horrible move if you're Daryl Morey and you're reaching. If that's how you feel you're reaching, okay, I understand that you're giving a team that has Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving sometimes due to his vaccination status, a player like Ben Simmons who doesn't need to be a number two guy and can play a different role for them and they can succeed based off of his role if Kevin Durant and Kyrie have enough firepower to work in the half-court set like Ben Simmons could. Ben Simmons, we talk about his playmaking ability and the way that he can find his open teammates and all. Majority of the time, that's in the open floor. James Harden, with those 10 assists that people just keep overlooking and devaluing and not really finding the pure greatness of, a lot of that is in the half-court set and creating off the dribble, maybe getting some separation, and his ability to shoot the ball at a high rate like he does. It opens up just based off of his counter to that and how players elect to defend him. But you got to think about yourself. Did you get better? If you start focusing about what these other teams are getting, you have a player who's unhappy, a backup center that's going to be walking at the end of the year anyway, and then a nice player in Seth Curry, a nice starting player. And yes, it fits their role. It fits what they're looking for in Brooklyn due to Joe Harris going down. But you got to worry about the 76ers. That's what you need to take care of. If you're Daryl Morey, I'm not saying you just completely throw it out the trash to see what is going on around the league and study what other teams are doing and the acquisitions they're bringing in. Of course. But did the 76ers get better? They went from not having a chance to being able to compete with other teams. I don't think they're better than Milwaukee. I don't think they're better than Milwaukee. I don't know where they stand against the Brooklyn Nets or some of these other teams. Okay, I put them in that upper echelon of the Eastern Conference. I don't know if they're as good as the Milwaukee Bucks, but this move isn't just a back end of the season. You have 20 or 30 games to make something happen, and that's it. That's not what this is about. You have the opportunity here for a good 3-year window to take a step with James Harden and Embiid, and Daryl Morey still has work to do. This isn't a finished product. You're closer now than you were before you made the trade. Before you made the trade, you had zippo chance. Now, you actually do have a chance. You have a chance. I'm not telling you it's the greatest chance in the entire universe. You have a chance. Charles Barkley brought up that now it's going to be harder for Tobias Harris. Charles, How is it harder for Tobias Harris? Well, he's going to lose shots, so then when he gets the basketball, he's going to try and force a ton. And he's going to constantly try and take it to the rack or take ill-advised shots because James Harden and Joel Embiid are going to be trying to force feed one another and put up X amount and score X amount. You're just reaching at that point. Like, if you're now making excuses that this is awful, you're trying to find a certain narrative to make you sound like you are right in that spot where you think like, hey, this isn't as good. I'm fascinated to see it. I don't understand how anyone can then now look at this team and say Tobias having a smaller role, and this is no shot at Tobias, but if it's James Harden, Joel Embiid, Maxey, and Tobias as a combination of a third option, depending on the night, 3A, 3B type of thing, just who has it that night. Maybe some nights Maxey has it, or some night Maxey's a little bit slow to start off. Tobias carries the weight for 3 quarters, but Maxey is that third option in the fourth quarter because he explodes and finds his rhythm. To think that this is going to hurt Tobias Harris, I just find that so hard to believe. The less stress and the less that he has to do is honestly better for Tobias Harris. How can James Harden and his ability to pass the ball and work and create in the half-court set be something that could be painful for Tobias Harris? To me, that is absolutely bonkers, and I don't believe it at all. Another point Charles Barkley made is the fact that the best players have to change their game. Joel has to accommodate for James. James has to accommodate for Joel. There's legitimacy to that. No doubt about it. I won't argue that, and I won't downplay that at all. I think that that's fair to say, and that's why I tell you that it's going to take time. It's not the easiest thing in the world. When the Sixers acquired Jimmy Butler and Tobias Harris in the same season, it didn't happen overnight. It takes time to kind of learn one another, and there's chemistry for a reason. So absolutely, but to think that they can't figure it out ever, and when you put two talented players that can play at this high of a level together, that they're never going to figure it out, I'll take my chance. Now, you could say that Kyrie, James Harden, and Kevin Durant didn't work out, and there's only one basketball to go around. I don't see that as the same thing as a center in Embiid and a point guard in James Harden, and just those two working together. I don't see that being the same as what KD provides, what Kyrie provides as a natural point guard, and then James Harden on where he's at right now in his career. Those are two totally different scenarios, in my opinion.